Hi guys, my name is Nix and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to address something that I've been learning for a very long time, which is balancing a healthy lifestyle with being busy and just being a human. And then on top of all of that, you have to catch up with friends, eat healthy, drink enough water, make sure you exercise, meditate, take care of yourself. It's a lot. It seems like a lot, but I have 5 tips that might make that a little bit easier and help you transition into that healthy lifestyle in a maintainable and sustainable way. Without further ado, let's get into the video. My first tip is to go to a gym near work. Now, I've recently started doing this and it actually makes such a big difference because it would usually take me around 45 to 50 minutes to get to work because of all the traffic. But then I find when I leave earlier in the morning to get to the gym before work, it will only take me half the time. So I'm saving traffic time essentially. And this has been such a game changer for me because I can either have a longer workout or I can sleep in, and it just allows me that choice rather than spending the extra 15 to 20 minutes in traffic. So if possible, try and find a gym that's closer to your work than home. The gym I go to, it's Anytime Fitness. It's a big chain and you can go to whichever anyone you want, which is really handy and really helpful. So what I'll usually do, I'll wake up, I'll have breakfast and get into my workout clothes, bring all my work stuff with me, my makeup and all of that, and then have a shower at the gym and get dressed at the gym, and then I'm pretty much just ready to go. The gym's probably a 2-minute drive from work, if that, so I can pretty much leave like at 10 to 9 and get there bang on time. My next tip, and you're probably sick of hearing this and have probably already heard this tip, but it really changed the game for me, and that's meal prepping. Now, you don't have to meal prep every single meal or every single lunch, but what I would do is just meal prep the 5 days of the week. I also study part-time at night, so I have classes 2 nights of the week, so I would usually meal prep those as well. I'll be honest, that is a lot of work to do 7 meals in advance, but yeah, the less meals you take, the less time it takes. Sometimes I would just eat out for those couple of meals, because if you don't have time, you don't have time. The second I put pressure on myself to eat clean every single meal, yeah, let's be fit, it overwhelms me and I don't want to do it. So baby steps. The way I like to meal prep is I would never do 5 meals the same because if I'm having like chicken and broccoli from Monday to Friday, I will get very sick of chicken and broccoli and I'll go off it completely, like I won't want it. So I try and make them like a little bit fun, like I'll do a pasta or I'll do like some Mexican or stir fry. Like I'll try and make the meals interesting, and then that way I actually want to eat them. So I'll usually do 3 of one meal and then 2 of another. And then if I have school, I'll either like buy some sushi or, you know, get a salad or have like leftovers from dinner. That's handy as well. I'll usually prep like 1 meal, like I might make like a pasta with meatballs or something, and then the other meal will be like a quick like salad or something easy to prepare. My next tip is ingredient prepping. Now, this one's made my mornings really quick. I do this especially for breakfast, so I like to have in the mornings like a smoothie bowl or oatmeal. They're usually my go-tos. This is recent that I've started having smoothie bowls especially. Last year, one of my main goals was to increase the amount of greens that I was eating. I'm not a salad person, and it takes a bit for me to eat my vegetables. I'm like a child. I'm not a huge fan of veggies, so it's a real effort for me to get my greens in. So last year what I started doing was prepping my veggies. If I buy a bunch of kale and put it in the fridge, I'm like 90% sure that I will not eat it because it's too much effort to get it out in the morning, chop it up, put it in the blender. No. So what I have been doing is chopping it up beforehand, putting it in Ziploc bags and then chucking it in the freezer. What this does, it creates perfectly measured veggies in a convenient little pack, and all I have to do is pull it out of the freezer, chuck it in the blender, put in all my other ingredients, done. Easy. I also like to prep my protein powders and things that I'm going to put in my oats. So I usually measure my protein powder just because I like to have a serve of protein. I don't really like to have more than a serve of protein powder a day, just because it's not that easy to digest and it's not the most natural thing. So I try and limit my protein powder intake to 1 serving per day, and I get the rest of my protein from like foods rather than supplements. So what I do with my protein powder is same thing. I'll put it in a Ziploc bag pre-measured and then chuck it in my pantry. And then if I want to use it for oats or my smoothie bowls, all I have to do is boop, boop. I don't have to worry about measuring it. So that cuts down time in the morning as well. You can do the same kind of thing with your fruits, any like flavorings. Like I like to put coconut sugar and cacao powder in my oats. So I'll measure that out as well if I know I'm going to be in a rush. You can also prep parts of meals. So if you want to pre-boil your eggs, if you want to pre-steam your veggies, that's all handy too. But the main ones that I do are measuring the protein powder and freezing my greens. My next tip, and even though you might be busy and got a million things on your mind, this one's important and you've probably heard it before, but it's to get enough sleep. Sleep is crucial. I've seen so many people, when they get stressed and when they get overwhelmed and when they have a million things to do, they just go, and they sacrifice their sleep. Now this for me is a big no-no. Number one, it's terrible for your mental health. Number two, it's also terrible for your physical health because your cortisol levels increase and this really impacts on your hormones. That could be a whole separate video. Just know for now that lack of sleep is detrimental for your mental and physical health. On top of all of that, on top of being bad for you to miss sleep, it will decrease your productivity levels. So for me, if I don't get enough sleep, like I'm a bit of a sook, like I need like 7.5 to 8 hours. Like if I'm edging on 6 hours, I do not function. If you don't get enough sleep and if you're exhausted throughout the day, you will not be as productive. Even if you think you're being productive and if you're constantly doing something, the quality of your work will not be as good. So get a good night's sleep. Sacrifice cooking for yourself. Sacrifice your workout. Sleep should come first. Like if you get to bed late, if you get to bed at midnight and then you have to be up at 5 o'clock the next morning for a workout, I'd skip the workout. It's not worth it. There are times where I've finished school late, like, and I've gotten home, 10:30 even, and I know that I have to be up at 5:30 the next morning. I'll skip the workout because I know A, my workout won't be very productive, and B, it's not going to be the most efficient way to reach my goals. Also as well, if you wake up in the morning, listen to your body. Like there's a difference. You can wake up in the morning and push through, and you can wake up in the morning and literally feel exhausted. If you're feeling the latter, if you were exhausted and you know you're going to get to the gym and have a terrible session, sleep in. Take the extra hour, because it's better to do that than go to the gym, have a half-assed session, then you also miss out on sleep and you're going to not be productive throughout the rest of the day, and you've also had a terrible workout. So that's something to keep in mind too. My last and final tip is to make small changes. It's easy, especially at the start of the year, when you're really motivated, to be like, yep, I'm going to exercise 5 times a week. I'm going to meal prep all my meals. I'm going to eat everything clean. But for a lot of people, making a drastic change, doing the all or nothing, it's not going to work because it's not sustainable, because you've just jumped into this completely new lifestyle without easing into it, and you're going to get A, burnt out, and B, bored. So my recommendation is, to make small changes. For example, when I first started my fitness journey, I definitely was not working out 5 times a week. As a matter of fact, that seemed like a big challenge. So I started with 2 times a week, and then slowly built up to 3, and then 4, and then 5. And I probably won't go more than 5 because I think that'll just be pushing it. Slowly increase. If you want to meal prep, don't do your whole week. Just start with meal prepping a breakfast here and there, or doing 3 meals a week, because it really does make a difference to your time. Small changes over time are always going to be better than one big drastic diet. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips and that they are helpful. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave them down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps. Until then, I will see you next time. Bye!